All right, hello everyone. This is Hunter Doyle. I'm here with Ian Baldwin today, and we are interviewing Gregory Rousseau, who's projected to be a first-round pick next year, defensive lineman from Miami, 2019 ACC Rookie of the Year, first team All ACC. I mean, I don't think we could have been more impressed with the film we watched in you. I mean, you finished second to Chase Young in sacks last year, which is just amazing. I mean, we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity. I mean, we just really appreciate your time. We know you're a busy guy and you got a lot of stuff going on right now, so we just want to thank you.
Of course.
Um,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, and we just want to ask you like how you're doing and how quarantine's going for you, man.
It's been good, just trying to stay in shape. I've been working out at local fields and stuff with my friends, and I got a bench press in my garage, so I've been staying in shape by lifting some of those weights and just trying to stay on top of my schoolwork, even though I'm not used to all this, but just trying to adapt.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, we're in school too, and we're not even student athletes, and it's been tough. So we applaud you for
Yeah.
your effort. But yeah, let's get into this though. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey and how you kind of got into football as a kid.
My older brother, he bought Madden. I think it was Madden 05. I think Ray Lewis was on the cover. I don't know.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
just kept playing that game. I was like, man, this is fun. So I kept playing it, and I learned the names a whole bunch of players. I learned what each position is and what they do in the field. And I started playing when I was 8, and then I actually started playing DN in Little League football when I was 8, maybe through 9. But then I started playing running back and receiver as I got older, and I didn't even really focus on DN because everybody wants to have the ball in their hands, obviously, score touchdowns. So that was more fun for me. And then I went to high school. I started off at Monarch High School in Coconut Creek with Calvin Ridley went there. Jerry Judy was there when I was there. Calvin Ridley's little brother, who's on the Chicago Bears, was there. But I started off over there. And then I actually played DN my sophomore year in high school. But then I transferred, and I played receiver and safety at the next school I was at, called Champagnat Catholic in Hialeah. But then in college, obviously, I ended up going back to DN. So, I was always, meant to be a DN.
Dang, man, that's crazy. I mean, that's such a cool journey to go through. I mean, it sounds like you were surrounded by some real talent. So, I mean, everyone's kind of had a role model or some influential coach or someone who even an upperclassman who's kind of been influential in their lives. So kind of tell us about someone in your life who has been really impactful on that journey.
Not that Calvin played my position, but just watching him just prosper and ball out in high school, ball out at camps, go to Alabama, ball out. It showed me that it was possible. So having somebody like that around, it really it gave me a real good influence and somebody to look up to and try to not model my game after, but just model my football career after, by doing all the right things, staying out of trouble, being a genuine person, things like that.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah. So I know college, at least for us, was really difficult kind of deciding where to go and what to do. What made you choose Miami?
I say one part of it was it being close to home because it's only an hour from my house. But I live in Broward County, Florida.
Oh, nice.
And two, it was the family atmosphere. Coach Rick was there. He's really just warm type of person, and I felt like I really trusted him. Coach Diaz also had a plan for me. Coach Diaz sat down with me. I watched film with him. He told me how they're gonna use me in his defense, and no school really did that and put in all that time into me. So I felt I was most important to them than any other school. So and also I played 7-on-7. I played Florida Fire with a lot of kids Mark Pope, Gervin Hall, a lot of my now teammates, and we all just kind of built a bond. So I was ready to come to the U for sure.
Sweet. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
I got to ask, my dad is a huge fan of this. He went to Miami, but can you tell us about the turnover chain and what that means to you and how it impacted the ways you play?
It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever. Just knowing once you make a play and jumping on a fumble and being under the pile and being man, when I get up, I'm about to go show out. I'm about to put on the chain. I'm about to be on ESPN. This and that. It's dope. It's awesome. You can't beat that. It's iconic.
Yeah. I mean, I know people have definitely tried to replicate that, and Nothing
Oh,
can
yeah.
compare to Miami. They started it.
Yeah.
And also, you are just a physical specimen. I mean, 6'6", 253. Were you always like a big guy? Sorry, I stumbled over my words. Or did you hit like a growth spurt or like, just start like working out a ton? Like, how did all that happen?
Uh, I grew pretty gradually. I'd say like my freshman year, I was 6'4", and then by my junior year, I was like 6'5.5", and then like I had like another slight growth spurt like once I got to college. So like it wasn't like one summer of me growing 8 inches, but it was just like over time I just like had little like growth spurts of like an inch or two or an inch and a half, and like I was always pretty skinny until I want to say my junior year. I probably played at like 205, but then I put on some weight for my senior year of high school, and I got like 220. And then when I got to Miami, I added like another like 30 something pounds from 220 to like 258, which is where I'm at now.
Dang, that's impressive. That's very impressive.
Yeah.
So you played under in your 2 years at Miami. I mean, you didn't play your first year because of the injury, but you've been under Coach Simpson and Coach Stroud. I mean, both accomplished defensive line coaches. So kind of talk about like them and just your defensive coaches as a whole and the whole coaching staff, even like how they've really impacted your breakout year this year and just kind of your success at Miami so far.
Yeah, I feel like Coach Simpson just he laid like the groundwork for me when I got there. Even though I got hurt, I was with him for a whole spring because I early enrolled, and I was with him for the whole fall camp up to the first game. So that's like a few months of football practice with him. So he taught me all the little things like getting off, taking the perfect step, hand placement, things like that. And then this year with Coach Stroud, I finally got a chance to get a full year under my belt. So I just like refined everything. I got better at certain things. I got way stronger in the weight room when I was after I got hurt, because that whole season I was just like working out during practice, like the hurt guy thing where you like ride the bike for a little bit and you just do like hella arms and stuff. So I did that, and the whole coaching staff's cool. Coach Stroud really taught me a lot, like how to use my length to my advantage on the field. And Coach Diaz, same thing. Even though he's a head coach, he's not one of those guys who just like stand like with a notebook, like with their hand over their mouth. Like he's in practice. He's telling me like, Greg, do this, do that. Make sure you do this because in the game it's gonna be like this. He's a really hands-on dude. So he's helped me a lot too, and he taught me to never like he tells us there's no practice. He says practice is game, because why practice like going at a practice speed and then like when you get in the game, everything's gonna be new to you. It's gonna be like full speed. You're gonna be like, whoa. So he's definitely had a huge impact on me. The whole staff's great. I love Coach Baker at New DC. He's really like a genius defensive mind, and the whole team's just awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, I think it's so important because some of these coaches, I mean, great coaches, but some of them can be kind of unplugged and not really like build a relationship with each of their players.
Oh
and
yeah,
not even like
definitely.
just building a relationship, just like bettering them and just like pushing them every day in practice. So I really like to hear that. I mean, sounds like you got a great situation down there, and kind of going off of that. I mean, Miami's been notable for defensive linemen for quite a bit. I mean, you guys have had Calais Campbell come through there, Olivier Vernon, and in recent years, you guys had Jonathan Garvin and Joe Jackson, who have gone into the draft and gone to the NFL now. So kind of talk to us about like that legacy and what's kind of like been pushing that, and yeah, just that legacy in general.
It's great. I talk to Calais Campbell all the time. He texts me, he gives me tips and stuff, and just tries to help me out. And he'd be sharing his knowledge with me. So he's a real cool dude for sure, and I have a connection with him. Joe, I looked up to Joe for sure. Garvin taught me so much. So like he's taught me so much when he was here. He was also a person that I like kind of modeled my game after while being hurt that season, and watching him like ball out. I was like, man, like what can I do to be at this level when I get back next year? So I looked at all little things. I looked at how he watched film, how he prepared for games. So they've all been huge impacts on my life, and I'm just trying to keep on just carrying the legacy of D lineman going to the U and having success in the NFL.
Definitely, man. I mean, it's so important. I mean, to have alumni connections in general, and just to have like upperclassmen like Joe just helping you lead. I mean, that's
definitely
so cool to hear. I mean, me and Ian's been a student athlete before. I've been a student athlete, and it's like just having like upperclassmen. I mean, in general, even like in middle school sport, it's like you just kind of look up to them, and to have those
Yeah,
guys is
facts.
so important.
You just want to do everything they do pretty much, or like do it better, you know?
Exactly, bro. Yeah. So you kind of talked about your injury in was it 2018, right?
Yeah, 2018
Um,
second game.
yeah. So kind of talk to us about like that time of adversity and any other times of adversity, and kind of how you overcame that and powered through.
It was real tough at first. Like I was real tore up about it, but like I realized, I sat down, I prayed, I talked with my family. I realized that like everything happens for a reason. You know, God has a plan. So I just trusted it, and I said like to myself, like why be sad? Like when being sad is not gonna help it. It's not gonna help at all. So after a few days of like being sad after my surgery, I was just like, all right, I gotta make a plan for myself to like ball out when I get back and get back to at least like to as close as possible to what I was before I got hurt. You know. So I took my rehab really seriously. I watched what I ate because, you know, it's easy to get out of shape when you're not running. So I watched, because like after surgery for the first 4 weeks, I couldn't work out because like I had it was like a 7-inch incision. So it was like I couldn't like sweat or anything because the stitches took a while to heal, you know, because it was like a pretty big cut. It was a big surgery. Kind of, I got like a plate in my leg. So I just took every single day, like just by the hour, you know, just doing everything I could to get back. I took my rehab really seriously, and I finally got an opportunity to get back. And the whole time I just kept in mind that like everything happens for a reason. So it turned out good.
Man, what a great attitude to have about that. That's incredible.
Apply
Yeah,
your faith in God too through that, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, that's just awesome.
Appreciate
How would,
that.
yeah. Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said appreciate it.
Oh yeah, of course. How would you describe your play style?
I try to like a lot of times I try to like in the beginning of the game maybe I'll show an lineman like more finesse or more power, and then towards like let's say the second quarter or like when we come out for the third quarter, I'll try to switch it up, and then they won't really know what's coming, and then they'll kind of be on their toes. So because if I'm like bull rushing the whole game, then they can get real heavy on their feet. So once they get heavy on their feet, I'll start using more like I'll go inside or use like a swipe move or a chop or something like that. So I try to just keep them like guessing, you know.
Yeah, that's
But
smart.
I'd say I like doing finesse though. I like doing like 2-hand swipes and stuff like that. I feel like that's fun because it's such a clean win. Yeah.
So how kind of like you were just talking about, kind of like, you know, thinking about, okay, trying to catch them off guard. How important is that mental aspect of your game and having confidence in your ability to kind of like fake them out or overpower them and stuff like that?
It means everything, you know. Just trusting yourself, like just trusting yourself 100%, and like knowing that like if you don't win one rep, you can come back and win the other. That's everything, and it really helps in like let's say like the fourth quarter when you know like you're gonna win, like you just keep on going, and you finally get that sack. Like it's just like a great feeling because it all paid off. It's like you can never quit, you can never really get discouraged because obviously you're not gonna win every rep or every rush. So as long as you just keep pushing through and you're mentally tough, even if you're not having the best game, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for real. And do you model like your play after anyone or like a current NFL DN, kind of like we were talking about, you know, maybe an alumni or maybe just someone you grew up admiring?
I'd say I like to watch Brian Burns, who went to Florida State, and I like some of the things he does, and I also took a lot from Jonathan Garvin. You know, he's right here. He was my teammate, so I learned a lot from him for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, can't go wrong with modeling your game after those two guys. So,
Yeah.
so
Facts.
I think every player has one of these. What's your favorite play in your career? And it doesn't have to be at Miami. It can be like even Pop Warner or something like that.
I'm gonna say my fourth sack against Florida State. It was like I used like a 2-hand swipe, and then Hornibrook tried to like run up in the pocket, but like I beat the dude really clean. I just dived and like I barely like hit his ankle, but he fell. So probably that one.
Gotcha. That actually leads perfectly into our next question, because our next question is just kind of like walk us through that game against Florida State, and like you know you had 8 tackles and 4 sacks as you just said, and just kind of like what was going through your head and how did you consistently dominate that day?
I just prepared. I watched a lot of film. I knew I'd have some. I'm not gonna say easy, but I knew that I'd have some favorable matchups in the inside on the way they block because they didn't do any slide protection. So it was a lot of one-on-ones with like guards and stuff like that. So I knew I knew the game plan would work. I had faith in it. In the beginning of the game, I was nervous. So like after like the first drive, I was really tired. I was like, man, like this is gonna be tough because like it was hot outside and it was a Florida State game. So like I guess like I think they call it like first wind when you get nervous and you get tired quick, but you're not really tired. So I had that at first, but then after the first drive, I was like, all right, I'm cool. I was getting used to it. I got a sack in the first quarter. I was like, all right, let me get another one. Like, let me just keep on going. I got one in the second quarter. Then I got one in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter. So I got one in every single quarter. But like throughout the game, I was just like, let me just get another one. Let me just keep on going, just keep on winning, and just keep on pushing. And like honestly, I didn't even know all the sacks were gonna be mine because you know how they do like credit and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like I thought maybe I'd have maybe 2.5 or something like that. When I realized I had 4, I was like, man, it's crazy. Like it was amazing, bro. It was awesome.
Wow. Definitely, man. And it's good to hear that you kind of overcame those first half jitters. Or first quarter jitters.
Yeah.
I think every player is going to go through that at first, and then once you kind of get settled into the game, it's like on football again. So
it takes a few plays. Especially like in a stadium like that. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Exactly, bro. And I'm glad I've never had to play in like heat like that. So I applaud you for that. So you've kind of talked about like some of the guys you have really like mentored you. So kind of talk to us about that locker room chemistry you've had at Miami so far, and like how important it's been even at Miami and throughout your whole football career in general.
It's everything. Know that like you have like brothers to go to war with all the time, and I'd say like not that I'm not close to other people on the team, but like our D line at Miami is so tight knit. Like everybody's like we hang out with each other all the time. We have such a connection that like when we get on the field, we trust each other so much when we're running like games and stuff. Like we have no doubts in our mind at all, and we know like if one of us don't win a rep, somebody else is going to get to the quarterback always. And we're really competitive too.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up here.
No,
so what are your goals for next season, like stat wise and like team goals and kind of style of play and everything?
I'm focused on like my get off, hand placement, a lot of the little things. Winning a more percentage of my rushes. Finishing plays because I had a few sacks where like I dove, but I could have took maybe 1 or 2 more steps and I actually could have gotten a sack. Playing against like elusive quarterbacks, I missed a few. So just capitalizing on everything and just getting better at every part of my game, playing to run stronger and just becoming more of a like complete prospect overall. So I don't have any. I'm probably gonna still have weaknesses. Everybody does, but just to make those weaknesses as little as possible and as like the less the better, obviously.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then what do you think is like the strongest aspect of your game that you benefit most from on the field?
I'd say definitely my length when it comes to like tackling somebody who's like kind of far away from me or like diving to get a sack, things like that. And also my versatility because I could play 9 tech, 5 tech, 3 tech, 1 tech, 4. I can play really any position on D-line, and I have confidence in myself, especially on pass rushing downs. I actually like rushing inside. It's actually easier sometimes, but I feel like I can play that. I can even play outside linebacker. I can drop in the coverage. I'm pretty versatile, so I think it's that.
That's awesome. I definitely like that. That's incredible. And then I know you kind of touched on it earlier, but just how have you been staying in shape in quarantine? Like I know you mentioned earlier how you and your fellow D linemen were really tight and everything. Have you been working out with them as well, or has it kind of just been like you? Like how's that been happening?
Yeah, I've been working out with them every other day, so I'll work out with them like Tuesday and Thursday at a park, or like Wednesday and Friday or something like that. And then the other 3 days, I'll either run around my neighborhood or work out in my garage. Because I got like a bench press set in there.
Very nice.
Okay, perfect. I mean, we're going to move on from the football aspect and do some get to know you questions. I mean, just before we do that, I just want to say, like, we love your mindset. I mean, like you said, very versatile on the D line. We're Eagles fans, and we've seen guys like Brandon Graham can play inside and outside on the defense, or not, inside, but like, you know what I mean? Like, and just guys like Jannard Avery who can play in coverage too. So it's so important to just be able to do what the coaches ask you. I mean, and I think you have the mindset of like a very confident and dominant competitor. So I just want to applaud you for that, man. I really like that about you. Of course, man.
Appreciate that.
All right. So let's do some fun questions now. So what would you say is the best Gatorade flavor? I mean, every athlete has one. So what's yours?
Strawberry, for sure.
Ooh, okay.
I've never had the strawberry. You're gonna have to give that one a try now, though.
Yeah, that one's rare. I don't see it in the stores a lot. So like when I do see it, I always grab
it. Awesome. I respect. I got to try that at some point.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So you talked about Madden. I'm a huge Madden guy.
Oh.
I would probably get wrecked by you because I don't actually play football. But but what is Madden your favorite video game, or if not, like what's your favorite video game?
It's definitely Madden, definitely.
Yeah. Especially the new one. That one is fun.
Yeah,
that one is super fun.
What's the go-to game mode on Madden?
What do you mean, like simulation?
Like like online head-to-head or franchise or ultimate team or. I
actually like franchise because what I do, I find the rosters online and I draft like the people. So basically, like they'll have like a whole bunch of like classes loaded up. They'll even have 20 stuff. So I'll like make a franchise with my brother, and I will like draft what we want. We'll like trade for like hella first round picks and get like 5 first round picks each. You know, it's stupid, but it's so fun though. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome, man.
That's great. Quick one. Who's your go-to team in Madden if you got to play someone online?
I'll say either the Panthers or the Texans. Like as long as I have a slightly mobile quarterback, it makes passing a lot easier because I have like 2 options.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a Vikings guy myself.
The Vikings are nice. Yeah, they're nice.
Give up Kirk Cousins. I don't know why.
They got Adam Thielen too.
Yeah, just run that stretch run all game too with Dalvin.
Dalvin. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you didn't play football, what would be your dream job?
It'd probably be being an FBI agent. Yeah, because I'm studying criminology.
That's cool.
Dang, that's sick, dude.
That's really cool. All right. If you could be in any one TV show or movie, what would it be and why?
That's a tough one. I like The Walking Dead, so probably The Walking Dead. That'd be pretty cool. I feel like it probably wouldn't be really cool to actually be in real life, but like being in the show, that'd be dope.
Hey, I respect it. Thank you so much for your time, man. I mean, we really enjoyed doing this interview. We really appreciate your time. Yeah. Like I said,
Me too.
Know you're busy. And is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
Nah, just y'all stay safe and God bless. I appreciate y'all reaching out to me. It's really humbling. And I really thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, this is a humbling opportunity for us as well. We're really enjoying doing interviews with everyone, and like just like you said, like everyone stay safe, and like thank you to all the workers who are doing all this work on the front lines. And so so we're gonna sign off now. But thank you again, Gregory.
All right, for sure. God bless. Y'all be safe. Thanks.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, sir.